Hello and welcome live here on CROW LAX TV. My name is Aiden Bolsgard, and we're getting set for today's matchup between the visiting Rockyview Silvertips against the home side Fort Saskatchewan Rebels in this, the Junior B Tier 1 division of the RMLL. Big news here on this Sunday afternoon for Fort Saskatchewan, making his resurgence into the lineup. Oh, captain, my captain, Miller Scrimshaw, back in the lineup after recovering from his injury here, and it's good to see Miller back on the floor for the Rebels. Took warm-ups with them yesterday, didn't play, but back in this one here today. So we'll see how Miller looks out on the floor as we get going in this contest. Big win yesterday for Fort Saskatchewan over the Saskatchewan SWAT. 20-3 was your final score from that contest yesterday. So Fort Saskatchewan riding a high. Let's see what they can do in this one here today. We get set at the face-off dot, and play is blown in. We got a face-off violation right off the bat, and the ball's going to be turned over to the Silvertips here as they'll start to work their way up the floor. With it now, Twet, he's got it. Looking for an option here from the left side of the floor. Going to be able to feed that one up there for Schroeder. Schroeder tried to cut his way towards the middle, lost his handle on the ball, but recovered nicely there by Montgomery. Montgomery throws that over to the left. Big shot there from the outside, and a nice save to start there for the Rebels. Starting for them between the pipes today is the 0-0, Bowen Carpenter. Carpenter trying to follow up a stellar performance from Jacob McGilvery yesterday. Only allowing 3 goals is pretty solid in a lacrosse game. If you're just tuning in, you're here at the right time. 19:15 to go in the first period. We have just gotten underway. The Rebels with their first offensive possession of this contest. Working their way around the top there in that pass out to Cale Owen. Just couldn't quite find his way into his stick, and that's going to be gathered in by the starting goaltender for the Silvertips today, Caden McDonough. McDonough feeds that one up ahead, and the Silvertips back into the zone. Clark, he's got it now, working his way around. Going to feed that off to the right side of the floor as the Silvertips continue to move around this ball. Penner, he's got it. Going to move his way back up towards the point. Tried to feed that one out left for Peterson, but he couldn't quite gather that one in. Now the over and back call going to be put on to the Silvertips. So forced turnover here to the Rebels, and now Baker going to come across half. He has it as he pulls it out right. Baker going to spin towards the middle. Gets in all alone there, and a nice save by Caden McDonough. The Silvertips recover and look to head across the floor once again. Colby Berg, he's got it. Lost his handle. Recovered quickly here by the Rebels. Ashton Johnson, he's got it. Trying to find his way across half before the 8-second call. And indeed, he'll be able to do so. Has 2 defenders all over him and quickly loses the ball there. And here come the Silvertips back the other way. Nate Shabak, he's got it. He'll just toss that one off as the offense comes out on the floor for Rockyview. Mason Schroeder, he'll pass that one off now as the ball movement ensues once again for the Silvertips. 17:53 to go now in the first. Your score remains 0-0 between these two sides. Stepping in now, Schroeder sends that one towards the net there and actually didn't end up letting it go as he got hauled down to the floor, but ball going to be turned over back to the Silvertips here, so they'll get a fresh 30 to work with here against the Rebels. Now getting some sustained offensive zone time here. Our Rockyviews, that feed right to the middle, couldn't find the stick there, but Coltwet able to pick that one up. Ball has come loose here once again. Able to recover his stick now was Ashton Johnson. Lost it momentarily, but has it now to play a little bit better defense. Easier to do that when you got a stick in hand. Is a nice save there by Bowen Carpenter. The rebound comes out loose now. Going to be picked up by the Rebels. Mullen Eastwood couldn't quite pick that one up. That's going to turn over to Rockyview once again. Beckham Mondragon, he's got it. Going to pass that one off now for Peterson. Peterson's going to pull this ball out left. Under 17 minutes to go now in this first period. Being fed around here by the Silvertips. In their own zone are the Rebels there, and that one couldn't connect. Ball comes out loose right into the middle of the Rebels zone there, and still battling for it is each side, and that's going to get thrown across half and over and back, going to get called on the Silvertips. So ball going to be turned over to the Rebels right at that half line. Looking to go pick it up for the Rebels looks to be Calix Simonson. Simonson, he'll feed that one down the right for Dylan Pook. Pook looks around his options, tries to find Mullen Eastwood, but a little too hardly telegraphed there as the Silvertips picked that one out of the air and pushed it across half once again. Silvertips got it down in the Rebel zone. That pass couldn't find its mark. Comes out high again. Battle for it. Rockyview had the extra man there, and that allowed Coltwet to be able to pick that one up and feed it off, and now ball up at the point for Chase Penner. Penner, he fed that one off right. A quick shot towards the net there, and that one ends up on the back as now the Rebels look to push across half here once again. They got a little speed. They got numbers. That shot from the outside, that one hits the post. Another opportunity there, and nice top right shoulder save by Caden McDonough as ball moved ahead once again here by the Silvertips, and they're across half. Back and forth action, but no goals so far between the Rebels and the Silvertips. 15:42 to go in this first period. Up to the point now, Chase Penner, he's got it. Penner feeds that one out right now for Tyler Montgomery. Montgomery looking for a lane towards the net, going to choose to pass that one off. Only 2 seconds to go on the shot clock here for the Silvertips as that one goes just wide, and it'll get forcibly turned over to the Rebels. Picked up now as the play's blown in here once again. Ball fed over to the left side of the floor as the Rebels go to work. Cale Owen, he's got it now, trying to cut towards the middle. Still with possession of the ball despite the pressure of the defense. Tried to scoop that pass to Eastwood. He had to go recover a bit of a bobbled ball, but now feeds it out right as Simonson into the middle. Now a shot there, and that one ends up over top of the net and saved nicely by Caden McDonough as he gathers in the rebound. Is able to move that ball ahead once again. Now below 15 minutes to go in the first is what has been a low-scoring first period so far. 0-0 is where it stands. In along the left now, Silvertips trying to make their way inside there, and that shot by Coltwet is saved once again by Bowen Carpenter as the Rebels able to pick up the rebound and looking for a way up the floor here once again, and they're going to get it. Johnson, he's got it now along the right side, feeds that into the middle for Kohut, and that one gets blocked away. But the Rebels recover here as they look for another opportunity towards the net now. Ball comes out loose. Silvertips defense all over the Rebels that time, and able to move this up once again. Cam Fuster. He steps across half in along the left side, going to move it all the way behind the net. 14-12 to go in the first period. This ball gets fed down right as Silvertips quick stick opportunity, and that one misses the net. Rebels going to be able to recover that ball in their own crease. Going to have to move it quickly now as Carpenter, as he'll throw that into the ceiling. So that's going to turn it back over to the Silvertips here in the left corner of the Rebels zone. With it now is the captain, Mason Schroeder. He's got it. Schroeder gets the return feed once again there from Peterson. Still looking for an option. Chooses to go up to the point now. Quick feed down to the right side of the crease, but picked out of the air by the Rebels. And Reese Walsh now trying to make his way, cut the center, but lost the ball there. And we're going to have a penalty upcoming here to the Silvertips. It looks like headed to the box is going to be Chase Penner, and we'll have our first man up situation, and it's going to be a Rebels power play. So this Rebels power play is brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They are here to help you buy it. 13:38 to go in the first. Great opportunity for the Rebels to crack the goose egg on the board here. Baker, he's going to start with the ball up at the point. Baker feeds that one off right to Pook. Pook drops that one low. Rebels going to use behind the net here to create some extra space as they'll feed it out left now. Mullen Eastwood put that up to the point. They score. Jackson Baker, after a full 4-goal performance yesterday, puts another one on the board just now. Not a bad weekend so far if you're Jackson Baker. So the Rebels lead this one 1-0, and that's a perfect time to make sure to remind you to get your CROW LAX TV 50/50 tickets. This draw running all the way until July 1st, bound to be our biggest pot of the season. So you can scan that QR code on the bottom right of your screen right now, or you can go to our socials at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X to secure your 50/50 tickets as well. 13:22 to go in the first. Rebels lead by 1 as they enter in here once again. Pook with a nice fake pass there, but maybe should have shot as the defender chose to play the pass, and Pook had an opportunity to let it go, but couldn't make it happen this time around. As now moving in are the Silvertips one again quickly, and they score. Deegan Rutlinger puts away that goal to get this game all square once again. Not staying down and out for long were the Silvertips. 1-1 becomes your score. Now with a tie came, good time to let you know to explore Fort Saskatchewan. Discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit their historic downtown, scenic parks, and river valley. Work in a thriving community, play where every moment is memorable. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. 13:07 to go in the first as we get set at the face-off dot here once again. It's going to be Simonson who wins that draw. Lost his handle momentarily, but had some help from Cale Owen there to get back possession solidly here in the Silvertips zone. With it again now, Simonson feeds that right into the middle, all alone there, and a nice left shoulder save by Caden McDonough. Saying this ball went off the Silvertips, so no over and back going to be flagged to the Rebels here. 12:43 to go in the first as they look to head across half here once again. 25 seconds to go on the shot clock as this ball fed over to Baker. Simonson will exchange now with Dylan Pook. Baker moving around. Pook broke his stick right there. He'll have to head to the bench, get a new one, but he'll be exchanged out with Simonson as Owen battling for a loose ball here down in the corner. It's going to be recovered by the Silvertips as now they're going to head across half with some speed, but slowing up there is Joshua Brunton. He'll feed it off to Chase Penner now as Silvertips offense making their way out into the Rebels zone. 12:07 to go here in the first period. 1-1 remains your score. Tight first period so far between the Rebels and Silvertips. Nobody grabbing even really extra possession time opposed to the other as there's a save by Carpenter. Rebels going to start to move this out here once again. Coming across half now, it's Teej Brown. Brown using his big body to get through the Silvertips defense there. Simonson felt he caught a stick to the head. There's no penalty upcoming as Simonson will let a light one go towards the net. No dice there. Going to be recovered by the Silvertips. Ethan Wong, he's got it now and he'll bring it across half. Wong going to just toss that one off lightly to Cole Twett, who's still got it now as he pulls it out left. Twett going to feed over to the right side of the floor. Montgomery, he's got it now. Let's a big shot go there, and a nice save by Carpenter, making a two-save performance there. And now another one had to be made, and Carpenter keeping this game square, as well square to the post, I should say, is not giving the Silvertips a lot to shoot at on that opportunity as Walsh puts that back up to the point as the Rebels offense goes back to work. Mowing over the man there, and a shot on net, and that one saved by McDonough, showing he knows how to stop the ball as well. Turnover here to the Silvertips. We approach 10:45 to go now in the first. Ball gets fed off. Mason Schroeder, he's going to pick that up and bring it out left now as the Silvertips try to get something going here against the Rebels once again. A nice stick in the air there by Alex Zorniak. Knocks that ball down, and the Rebels able to recover and push across half once again. Davin Badgema, he's taking some rough hits here by Schroeder, but going to pull back towards the point now, trying to get rid of the ball, and he does. Mullen Eastwood feeds that one out right to Baker. Baker lets a big outside shot go there, and that one went just wide, but recovered in by the Rebels. Good job there, kind of playing goalie at the center line to not get the over and back call. Loose ball. Simonson had it momentarily, recovers it once again. Calix Simonson from the outside. Low shot there, and another save by Caden McDonough. 10:02 now to go in the first. McDonough going to step out of his crease here to make this pass ahead. Able to do so. Hits his man in Cole Twett, who's going to step across half and move the ball in along the left side. Twett making a cut towards the center there and going to dump it out to the left. Silvertips looking for options. Not a lot going through the middle right now as that outside shot goes just wide and ends up into the netting. So that ball going to be forcefully turned over to the Rebels. Ashton Johnson now going to bring this in across half along the right side, getting doubled up right away. This has kind of been the MO so far for the Silvertips when the Rebels enter the zone. They're sending the double out quickly as the rest of the Rebels offense gets out there, and it's definitely caused some issues for Fort Saskatchewan getting the setup they're looking for. 10 seconds to go here in this shot clock. Mullen Eastwood going to let that low shot go, and it ends up just wide here. And a good dump-in opportunity ends up in a nice pass there, and Eastwood couldn't get it past the big stick of McDonough, but a nice play there by the Rebels and met right at half. This is going to be the turnover, a little 2-on-1 for the Rebels. It's a short side shot there, and on his weak side, letting it go, but another hit there in the middle, and now the Rebels taking a page out of the Silvertips book attacking at the center line, and they've recovered another ball here now. Dumped down, recovered by the Silvertips now. Joshua Brunton. He'll carry it across half, kind of slow things down now. We had a lot of back and forth there in the neutral zone for about 40 seconds, and there's about 9:40 to go in the first period. The clock's currently stopped and frozen right now, so we'll have to see if that gets adjusted here. We do not have time running. In the corner now, left corner, I should say. Mason Schroeder going to step out to the point, let a big shot go there, and that one ends up wide and into the ceiling. Clock has been started again, so instead of a 20-minute period, we're going to have about a 20-minute and 40-second period, as that seems to be about how long. But now the clock's frozen again at 9:36. Jackson Kohut, he works around the offensive zone with it, and interesting to see what's going on with the clock here in Moyers. Eastwood, he has it now, feeds that one out to the point. Simonson back to Eastwood. Eastwood going to let that one go, and it goes just wide there. Simonson going to be there to try to gather this one in. Over and back going to get called on the Rebels as Kohut took a hit, and it looks like we're actually going to have a penalty upcoming here. Silvertips going to be headed to the box again. The Rebels converted on their first power play. It's an interference call being called here. But nonetheless, Rebels head to their second power play of the game and looking to take the lead as we're still tied 1-1. This Rebels power play, of course, brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They are here to help you buy it. As well, let you know that at Vimy Lacrosse, excellence is the standard, led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors. They are dedicated to molding well-rounded student athletes. Vimy Lacrosse is a fusion of sport, academics, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. So you can explore the academy by visiting vimyedmonton.ca/lacrosse. The Rebels stepped in the offensive zone here to start off this power play. Shot there, saved by McDonough. It's now pushing ahead are the Silvertips, trying to catch the Rebels. Changing here is Beckham Mondragon. He's got it now along the left. Mondragon takes a bit of a stick up high, a little too soft to get the call. Is now the Silvertips. Some good ball movement here. Short-handed, spinning off his man is Cole Twett, but now going to get stripped of the ball, and the Rebels have recovered it here. Davin Bajema stepped across half and fed that off to Reese Walsh, who's now going to drop it to Baker and go for a change himself. Baker to Eastwood. Eastwood down to the corner now, back up to the point as the Rebels continue to move this ball around. Eastwood out to the left, back up to the point here again. Mullen Eastwood going to feed that out right and snagged out of the air by the Silvertips as they'll push across half once again. 8.5 to go now in the first period, but it's going to be more like a 21-minute period here as they didn't adjust the clock at all for the stopped time while play was going on. 50 seconds to go in this Rebels power play as Silvertips get an in-close chance there, and they're saying no goal. Crease violation there. Cam Fuster gets that one called off. Ball gets fed ahead now. Jackson Baker bring it across half. 8 minutes to go in the first. 35 seconds in this Rebels power play. Kohut down to the corner. Back to Baker, who lets the shot go, and a nice save by McDonough, and the Silvertips able to pick up that rebound here once again. Brought across half by Chase Twett. He feeds that up to the point now for Chase Penner. 20 seconds to go on this Rebels power play. 15 seconds in the Silvertips shot clock. So Rebels may still have a chance to rush up the floor on the power play if this shot clock does expire. Rebels do recover it now, though, and that's going to do it for their power play. So 1-1 remains your score. Rebels not able to convert on the man-up advantage there, but are back in the offensive zone once again. Mullen Eastwood tries to feed that over to the right side of the floor. Going to be a battle for a loose ball, recovered by the Rebels. Still 10 seconds to go on their shot clock here. Simonson back over to Eastwood there, and his shot gets stopped up, and a crease violation called on the Rebels. And that's going to turn it over to the Silvertips. Play blown in. Cole Peterson, he'll feed that up to the top for Cullen. Wonder if he knows the Edward Cullen. If you got that joke at home, I apologize. So that shot goes just wide there. Peterson not able to pick up the rebound. Is going to get chased down by the Rebels now. I'm going to have an opportunity in close on net. That one there by Davin Bajema just gets into the stick of McDonough. Did drop between his legs, but stayed out of the net, and that's all that counts. They don't ask how. 6.5 now to go in the first. We are 5-on-5 as the Silvertips enter into the Rebel zone once again, fed out left. Silvertips continue to move this ball around. Now at the point, Chase Penner. He's got it. Penner going to feed that back over to left. Big shot from the outside there, and that one caught a piece of defender and ended up wide. Reese Walsh able to pick it up behind his own net for the Rebels as we creep up on 6 minutes to go in the first now. Walsh. He's in across half. Going to feed that one off to Baker. Now all of a sudden in the last half of the first period, the Silvertips not as aggressive up high, it seems. Baker trying to find his way around his man, and he does. It'll load. Baker just got stopped by the shoulder of McDonough, but a bit of a defensive bobble there by the Silvertips, not turning and seeing the man. And here's the captain, Miller Scrimshaw. Brings that across half. He'll pass it off. Kind of manning up high here is Scrimshaw. And now the Silvertips going to turn that one over to themselves here. And Cam Fuster, he's got it as he moves across half, and he'll pass it off now for Peterson. Seen a lot of offensive time here, has Peterson so far in this first period. Going to feed that over to the right now. Shot let go there by Shabak. And recovered by the Rebels as they're going to move it the other way now. Davin Bajema, he steps across half. Able to feed his man as the Rebels have it along the left side of the Silvertips zone now. Cycled towards the point, fed over to Calix Simonson. Simonson going to hit Eastwood as he comes off the bench. Eastwood back to Simonson as the Rebels continue to move this ball around in all alone, and they score! Calix Simonson looked to the ref to confirm he didn't step in the crease, but he did not, and the Rebels have taken a 2-1 lead over the Silvertips. .450 to go in the first period. Rebels have had both leads in this contest so far, 1-0 and now 2-1. Silvertips back, chasing this game. So we get set at half once again. Ball pulled out there by the Silvertips. Leven drop that back to his defense, and now with solid possession on have the Silvertips. Nate Shabak, he's got it. Ball ends up to the left side of the floor now as the Silvertips offense get in there and start to cause disruption here in the Rebel zone. Fed out high, Shabak, he's got it again, feeds that right into the middle there, and they score. Graydon Clark puts that away for the Silvertips, and they really don't like to be down in games, as that's now 2 quick answers for Rockyview, and we have a 2-2 game. 4:26 to go in this first period. Tied once again as the Silvertips answer on the Rebels quickly. Got in all alone and did not make his mistake. The Graydon Clark. Ball comes out now in the middle here. Rebels, they have possession after just allowing that last goal. There is a penalty upcoming here to the Silvertips. That's going to outweigh the power plays in this first period to 3-0 in favor of the Rebels. Once the Silvertips touch up, of course, Mullen Eastwood has it at the left, feeds that for Kohut. At the right now, up to the point for Baker. Baker going to let a big shot go from the outside there, and it just went wide. Ends up behind the net. Battle for the loose ball now. Cale Owen, he'll pitch that back behind the net. Into the middle there, and a quick shot off the post. Silvertips able to grab that one, and we have a cross-check coming up to Rockyview. It looks like headed to the box for them is going to be Nate Shabak. So the Rebels headed back to the 2-minute power play. And this Rebels power play is brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They are here to help you buy it. 3:50 to go in this first period. Kohut going to start with the ball at half here for Fort Saskatchewan. Kohut steps in now, feeds it over to the right for Baker, and down low now for Simonson. Simonson back to Baker. Now up to the point for Kohut. Kohut thought about shooting, but let it go to Eastwood. They're playing a little bit of pass now. Eastwood back to Kohut. Lets that shot go there, and another save by McDonough. Looking solid between the pipes. Not a lot even bouncing off of him, really. Very good rebound control, which is tough in the sport of lacrosse as goaltenders. That ball likes to bounce, as everybody knows, and So for a goaltender to be keeping things as close to his crease as he is pretty good showing here so far by Caden McDonough. Simonson, he's got it at the point now. 3:15 to go in the period and 1:20 in this Rebels power play. Baker off the bench now, feeds that one. It comes right into the middle there, and a nice save by McDonough. Picked up now, Joshua Brunton. He's going to step across half. Brunton going to slow up here as the Rebels continue to put on pressure. And this one's going to come across half and a quick turnover back to Fort Saskatchewan. 1:02 to go now into their power play. Baker won't pick that one up at the point. Little bit of miscommunication there. No harm, no foul as the Rebels recover. Dylan Pook will feed that back to Simonson. Simonson, fake pass there, and will go up to the point now for Baker. Baker winding up the shot. Now going to let it go, and he scores! Jackson Baker, second goal today. Make that his 6th in 2 days. And the Rebels get back the lead on the power play. Now 2 for 3 are the Rebels. A man up. So we'll get set at half here once again. 2:35 to go now in this first period. Ball comes out right now. The Silvertips do gain possession here. Now step across into the Rebels zone, and they're going to have a quick shot on net here and all alone. Quick stick opportunity, and that one ends up just wide. I thought the Silvertips maybe going to answer for a third time within about 15 seconds. Not this time, though, as the Rebels going to head back towards the offensive zone now. Baker, he gets the ball. Going to pull this one outright. Getting pursued by the other 11 on the floor, Ethan Wong. Baker feeds that one up to the point. The Rebels going to step in. Big shot from the outside, and a bit of an awkward one there, but stopped by Caden McDonough off the top of his left shoulder. 1:47 to go now in the first period. Is stepping in once again are the Silvertips. Ball gets fed out left. Comes out loose, but recovered once again here by Rockyview as they'll go to work. 14 seconds to go in their shot clock here. Chase Penner, he's got it along right. Fed that into the middle there, and a nice save by Bowen Carpenter. Walsh gets the ball back across half for the Rebels. Going to feed that back up to the point now for Simonson. Simonson down to the left shooter. Cross floor feed here once again. Pook, he'll feed that out right. Brand new stick out there for Dylan Pook as he looks for an option. Puts that one, tried to float the pass into Simonson in the 24, but couldn't quite make it happen as Cam Fuster going to steal that away. Now head across half. Fuster chooses not to try to get through the gap there. 50 seconds to go now in the first period as the Silvertips work it around the Rebel zone. Fed out right now. Ball comes up to the point. Nate Shabak going to pass that one to the left there, and a nice save by Bowen Carpenter. Loose ball here in the Rebel zone, going to get picked off, and here comes back the other way, Davin Bajma in on the breakaway. Bajma going to let that go, and he ends up just wide, it seems. I think they're saying that caught a piece of the left leg of McDonough. Nonetheless, the Silvertips recover the rebound. Only 16 seconds to go now in the first period. Falling to the floor there was Cole Twett. Does recover and passes that one off now for Chase Penner. Penner down to the right. Tyler Montgomery, he's got it up to the point. Montgomery looking for an option here, trying to find his way around Zorniak. Couldn't quite do it, and that one goes wide at the end of the period. So after 20 minutes, it was Rebels that lead the Silvertips 3-2. And before I let you go, I'll let you know that CROW LAX TV and the RMLL Junior B Tier 1 Division are proud to be supporting the Chris Letendre Wellness Foundation and the Canadian Mental Health Association to implement their Talk Today program. In 2020, a beloved player of the game to many in the North Division, Chris Letendre, died by suicide at age 25 while battling mental health issues. The Chris Letendre Wellness Foundation was formed in 2021 to preserve his memory and call the lacrosse community to action in support of mental health in the game of lacrosse and beyond. Donations can be made at edmonton.cmha.ca/talk-today-CLWF. You can also visit our social media channels for a direct link at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. Again, 3-2 is your lead for the Rebels after 20 minutes. Couple of goals from Jackson Baker, keeping his team in this one. It's been a good weekend so far for Baker, as I've mentioned. Now 6 goals in 1 period worth of games. So pretty good, but we'll be back for the second period shortly. My name's Aiden Bolsgard. You're listening live on CROW LAX TV, and Tristan Shaw is on the camera. See you in 10 minutes. Welcome back live here on CROW LAX TV. My name's Aiden Bolsgard, and you're tuned in for the second period of this Junior B Tier 1 action between the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels and the visiting Rockyview Silvertips. It's the Rebels that currently leads this game 3-2. We get set at the face-off dot to get this middle frame underway. Both benches getting their players on the floor and themselves going. Here's Silvertips going to come up with that draw there. Zach Levin, he's going to step across half, passed off now, and Cole Twet's got it. Twet has it along the left, going to feed that up to the point nicely now for Chase Penner, who passes that off right away to the right there for Shabak, who goes back up to the point. Good ball movement here. Shot clock not started right now, as the Rebels going to be able to steal that one away, and now it's going to get started. We got a breakaway. Here coming the Rebels, and they score. Not a bad way to open up the second period for Fort Saskatchewan as they buffer their lead. It's now 4-2 over the Silvertips. 19:32 to go in the second period. So we'll get set for another face-off. I'll remind you to get your CROW LAX TV 50/50 tickets on sale until July 1st. You can scan that QR code on your screen now or go to our socials for more information at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. Out of the face-off, it's going to be the Rebels who come up with it. Now headed 3-on-2 here into the zone. Big shot from the outside, and that one goes just wide and goes off the boards. And now a possible break here for the Silvertips, but the ball just going to be rolling a little too fast for Cam Fuster to catch up to and get in alone, but he does recover it in the corner now as the Silvertips going to go to work here into the Rebel zone as Fuster knocked off the ball aggressively there, but Peterson comes in to help and passes that one off now for Schroeder. Schroeder out to the right there, and that ball missed by about a country mile to the left of Bowen Carpenter. And that'll turn it over to the Rebels. One of those panic shots where you're just trying to get it on net before the end of the shot clock. I've been there. I've done that, and I've probably missed even wider. Is out to the left now, Simonson. He's got it up at that left shooter position. Looking to feed it over to the right side of the floor now. He finds Baker. Baker going to let a big outside shot go there. That one misses wide as well. Simonson now fed that across, and a tapped-in opportunity there, but stopped by McDonough. Turned over at half, though, and the Rebels have it once again. Cale Owen. He'll feed that one out for Reese Walsh. Walsh, he's got it on his weak side of the floor right now. So the Rebels offense will step back out there. Up at the point now, they got it. Fed over to Simonson. He lost his handle on it. And now a break here for the Silvertips. Coming in all alone, it's Mondragon. Mondragon in all alone. Going to let that shot go and a save. Bowen Carpenter sliding to the left and making the save with his shoulders. The Rebels will step across half here once again. Scrimshaw looking to cause some damage here in the offensive zone. Lays a pick and will head to the box here. Moving pick called there on the Rebels. So that'll turn it over to the Silvertips. 17:45 to go now in the second period. Ball goes up to the point. Fed over left now here with his Mason Schroeder. Schroeder still with it now, trying to find a lane or a passing option. Finds one, goes up to the point now. Cullen, he'll pass it off to the right. Finds Penner. Penner tried to let that shot go as the shot clock was coming near an end once again, but that goes wide and into the ceiling. So turned over to the Rebels. 17:20 to go now in the second period. So they'll step across half. Cale Owen, he's got it in along the left. Owen feeds that for Mullen Eastwood at the point. Eastwood going to find Simonson at that right shooter. Simonson trying to get away from his man here, but Baker going to get called for the moving pick here, and that's about as obvious as that one gets. Baker just kind of shoved his man to the ground and ran at it there, and nonetheless, the Silvertips going to be able to step across half here once again. They're moving it around. Clark, he dropped that down to the corner now, and getting beat to his knees. There's Cole Peterson, and we're going to have a penalty upcoming here. Looks like the Rebels going to be headed to the box. It's Davin Bajma making his way there. So for the first time in this contest, the Silvertips going to be headed to the power play. Let's see the signal here. Cross check called on Bajma. And that ensues the Rebels penalty kill. That is brought to you by 5-2 Projects, providing construction services tailored to meet the unique needs of each client. Committed to delivering top-notch quality and exceptional customer service is 5-2 Projects. 16:45 to go in the second, minute 56 in this Silvertips power play as they step into the offensive zone. Looking to draw within one here again in this contest. Mason Schroeder, he'll feed that up to the point for Twet. Twet into the middle there for Schroeder, and he scores. Mason Schroeder gets his first goal of this contest, and the Silvertips back within one is 4-3 now your score, making quick work of that power play. Following that goal, it's a good time to let you know to explore Fort Saskatchewan. Discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit their historic downtown, scenic parks, and river valley. Work in a thriving community. Play where every moment is memorable. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. 16.5 to go in the second. We're back 5-on-5. Ball gets drawn back. Stick slapped out of the hands of Dylan Pook. Back with his regular stick now. They must have had time to do some repairs, get a new shaft on there. There's a quick turnover to the Silvertips there, and a great opportunity in all alone for Nate Shabak, but saved by the left shoulder of Carpenter. The Silvertips do recover, though. This ball fed out to the left now. Cole Twet, he's got it. Up at the left shooter. Going to feed that up to the point now, and he finds Cullen. Cullen still with it now. Going to pass that back off to Twet. Twet couldn't quite gather that in, and now Bajma going to step across half with it. Bajma trying to come in all alone, just lightly tosses that on net, and a nice save by McDonough right into his stick as Bajma had four guys draped all over him. Rebels defense gets back out on the floor here. Walsh gets picked aside, and it looks like a moving pick actually going to be called on that one as Walsh going to head back to the bench now. Rebels going to step across half. It's Reese Walsh who has it right now for them. Reese, number 77, of course, and Rylan Walsh, number 16 for the Rebels. 15:28 to go in the second. Here's the Rebels. A little bit of a bobbled pass there, recovered by Mullen Eastwood. Always know Eastwood when he's out there. He's got some nice shoes on there as that one goes off the back of the net. Going to be recovered by the Silvertips. 15:15 to go now in the second as they come across half here once again. Ethan Wong. Pass that off nicely for Chase Penner, who has a lane now towards the net. Penner going to let that shot go, and a nice save by Carpenter. Fed ahead now as the Rebels going to come across half. Ashton Johnson, he's got it. Passes that off now and will head to the bench. Pass into the middle there. Dylan Pook just not quite to it fast enough, and the Silvertips able to pick up that one and take it away now. Colby Berg, he's got it. Berg just going to hold up with it here now. Pass it off to Tyler Montgomery. Montgomery looking for an option. He's going to be able to feed that out left to Twet. Twet chose to not let that one go. He's going to circle back up towards the point now. Now looking to pass it off, and he will down to Mason Schroeder, who steps up. Let's big shot go there and nails the post with that shot. Inches away from being a tie game right there, but nonetheless it remains 4-3 with 14:10 to go in the second period. Fed out left. Rebels up at the point here now. Cole Twet going to let that one go, and another save by Carpenter. And another one towards the net. Catches a piece of Carpenter. Getting bullied in the 24 is Cole Twet. Thrown to the ground there by Rylan Walsh. And now covered here by Tej Brown. Those are two big boys that definitely can knock you over. But good on Twet to get in there and cause some problems. Is that shot going to be blocked away and into the ceiling there? So off a Rebel, and still Silvertips possession with a fresh 30 to work with here. 13:35 to go in the second now. Rebels able to steal away that ball. Tej Brown, he's got it. Brown tried to get across half, but they're going to call the free hand violation on him there. So the Silvertips going to be able to turn it back here right away. With it now, Chase Penner. He's got it at the point, looking for an option, and he's going to feed it out left. Into the right now there, and a nice shot And a better save once again by Bowen Carpenter, who continues to do the work between the pipes for the Rebels as Fort Saskatchewan is broken across half here once again. See what comes of it here. It's going to be signaled in the Rebels' direction as Scrimshaw was getting involved in the physicality a little bit there. Rebels moving this one around, comes out right for Baker. Baker going to feed that one out left now, looking for some options into the middle there, and that one recovered nicely, even though a little bit of miscommunication. He was supposed to catch that pass. Baker still with it now, feeds it in the middle for Kohut, who couldn't quite snag that one out of the air. Now the Silvertips trying to turn it back with some speed. With it is Becca Mondragon. Mondragon just going to pull that one back out, wait for his offense to get onto the floor. Doesn't want to let go a weak shot when it could be a strong offensive opportunity here, as he'll leave that ball there now for Zachary Cullen. Again, if anybody in the chat got that Edward Cullen joke earlier, I again apologize. Graydon Clark has got it in along the left, comes up to the point now. Mason Schroeder tried to let that go and ended up high, recovered by Davin Bajema, who's getting tied up all over the place. And there's going to be another penalty upcoming to the Silvertips here. We'll see what the signal is here. It's going to be a hold called onto Zachary Cullen, and the Rebels going to be headed back to the power play, already leading by 1 in this contest. And this Rebels power play is brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They are here to help you buy it. 12:01 to go in the second. A fresh 2 minutes power play time now for the Rebels. So they look to head down the floor. Fed down behind the net now, utilizing that extra space. The Rebels kind of seemed to discover that a little bit yesterday. They were opening up a lot of seams in the middle, and you look at that 20-3 score, that might have had a part of it. Simonson tried the quick stick there at the right side of the crease, still able to recover the rebound, and this one got knocked out of the air, so held in the zone by the Rebels. 6 seconds to go on this shot clock up at the point. Baker looking for it, lets that one go, and it's blocked down in front and snagged by Zach Leven, who throws that one ahead, trying to find Beckham Mondragon, who's already had a breakaway in this contest. Was stoned, though, by Bowen Carpenter. The Rebels get this ball back quick and are going to go back on offense here on this power play. 1:17 to go, a man up for them. Baker, he's got it. He'll feed it out right for Pook. Pook just going to drop that one low now. Pook gets the return feed. Back up to the point for Baker. Baker going to send that down low there. A bit of a fake shot pass. Recovered by the Rebels, though. Baker really going to let it go now, and that one goes high and wide, and now it's going to be a chase down for the ball here as Cam Fuster is going to be the first to it in the Rebels zone. Fuster having some trouble picking it up, but he's got it now. 10:50 to go in the period and 47 seconds in this Rebels power play. The Silvertips doing a strong job so far at killing this one off. Not too many high danger chances in their own zone, and now still got 15 more seconds on their shot clock to continue to wind down the time. 30 seconds to go now in this Rebels power play. That ball fed to the middle there for Cole Peterson, and he threw that one just wide. Ball comes out loose now. See who can get a hold of it. Bajema getting his stick involved there. Referee Blake Petrushko, throwing himself kind of in between some heated conversation. It looks like ball's still going to be the Rebels here down in the Silvertips zone. 18 seconds to go now on their power play. Still lots of time to work with. Eastwood, he'll throw that to the point for Baker. Baker over for Pook. Pook going to drop that one down low for Simonson, who feeds that one right in the middle there and not able to get a shot on net there with the Rebels, but back up to the point for Baker, lets the big one go and nails the post that time. 3 seconds to go on their power play. It's still going to be their ball in the Silvertips zone. So this will do it now for the Rebels power plays. We're back 5-on-5 as Baker going to let another one go, and a nice right elbow save by McDonough, as now the Silvertips going to pick it up, and they're looking for a break here down the floor. Joshua Brunton, he's got it. Going to slow everything up, wait for the offense to get out on the floor, and now feed this way out high to Chase Penner. Penner looking for his options now. He's going to bring this one out right here. Hold up, look for some seams through the middle. Not going to find them, so now bring this back up to the point himself. Let that shot go, and that looked to have caught a piece there. Ryan McBride into the corner here, and it's going to be Rebels ball. Zorniak pass that one off to McBride, who sends that up the floor. Ball comes out loose here in the Silvertip zone, caught in the big wooden stick there of McDonough. Not too many goalies you see anymore using those nice bowed wooden sticks. Truly are nice in the traditional mesh, of course. That's a low shot there that goes off the post from Mullen Eastwood. He kind of looked up at the ceiling himself there, felt like he had everything in the world to shoot at, but ends up hitting the post. 8:53 to go now in the second. Rebels still lead 4-3 over the Silvertips. Don't forget to explore Fort Saskatchewan. Discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit their historic downtown, scenic parks, and river valley. Work in a thriving community. Play where every moment is memorable. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. Ball going to be turned over to the Rebels here behind the Silvertips net. Play blown back in with 8:33 to go now in the second. Baker, he'll feed that one out left there. Cale Owen dropped that behind the net, and now we're along the right side of the floor. Back up to the point for Owen. His shot towards the net. Stopped there by McDonough as he'll feed it ahead now and finds his man in Joshua Brunton, who will bring it across half. Brunton holds on to the ball momentarily, now able to feed that off for Shabak. Shabak feeds that off to the left now. Mason Schroeder, he's got it. Schroeder up to the point for Twet. Twet going to send it to the right side of the floor, and that ball doesn't catch a piece of the ceiling that time, it didn't seem. Loose out in the corner now, recovered by the Silvertips. Only 4 seconds on this shot clock. Is a big one from the point by Shabak, and that's stopped up with some ease by Carpenter's. Tej Brown now going to be able to feed that one ahead. Zorniak, he's got it, going to step inside. Zorniak tried to let it go, and just enough disruption there by Ethan Wong to break up that chance. Now breakaway back the other way. Here comes Mondragon. He lets it go and gets stoned again by Carpenter. Mondragon, he's been kind of hunting there. He's gotten a couple one-on-one and now breaks and now 2 breakaways, but not able to punch through yet. Has Mondragon. 7:22 to go now in this second period. Rebels in the Silvertips zone once again, as now it's going to be another break chance here. Cam Fuster trying to step in one-on-one, and a great job by Cale Owen to meet his speed. And now we're going to have a penalty upcoming, it looks like, as Fuster jumps the crease, and we're going to have a penalty upcoming. It looks like Cale Owen going to be the man headed to the box for the Rebels. See what the exact signal is here. Holding going to be the call. Nonetheless, this will ensue another Rebels penalty kill. That is brought to you by 5-2 Projects, providing construction services tailored to meet the unique needs of each client. Committed to delivering top-notch quality and exceptional customer services. 5-2 Projects. 2 minutes of fresh power play time here for the Silvertips to try to tie this game up. They only trail by 1 to the Rebels. Up at the point now, Twet. He'll feed that one down left there for Schroeder. Schroeder back up for Twet. He'll use the right side of the floor now. 13 seconds to go in the shot clock here for the Silvertips. Penner gonna let that shot go there, and a nice save by Carpenter. Ball comes out left now. Penner, he's got it again, gonna drop that one down low and get the return feed. Now up to the point for Twet. Twet and Penner playing a little bit of pass here, so that'll come back to Penner here once again. Scrimshaw gonna jump right onto Penner. Gets a slash there, wanted the call as the shot goes just wide there of Carpenter and high into the ceiling. And that should be Rebels ball. And indeed, that's going to be the case. So Ashton Johnson going to pick it up for Fort Saskatchewan and run it across half. Only 1:12 to go here on this Silvertips power play. 6:10 to go in the second. Fed down low. The Rebels into the ragging strategy now here in the Silvertips zone. Pook, he's got it in along the right. Going to feed that into the middle now as Pook got it there, but ball going to come out loose now, and that's going to do it for the shot clock. So a full 30 seconds of that power play killed in the Silvertips zone. Something to be proud of there. That unit for the Rebels is now going to have to go back on actual defense here once again. Mason Schroeder. Where's that to the point for Twet? Twet over to Penner. Penner into the middle now, and Schroeder couldn't quite get a hold on that ball. Scrimshaw gets hauled down. No penalty upcoming. Ball comes out loose. 18 seconds to go now on the Silvertips power play. Fed out left now. Schroeder, he's got it. 10 seconds to go now. A man up for Rockyview. Twet back to Schroeder in the middle. Lets that one go too high and over top of the net. And that will do it for the power plays. We're back 5-on-5 here. Reese Walsh trying to battle for it behind his own net. Has some help here. And we got a moving pick called on the Rebels. So that's going to turn it over to the Silvertips in their zone once again. Chase Penner feeds that across for Schroeder. This unit been out for almost this whole 2 minutes of that past power play. So going to be some tired bodies out there on offense as this one comes out loose quickly. And now Zorniak going to be able to pick it up for the Rebels, and he'll head behind his own net to try to find some space. And now feeds that up along the left for Ashton Johnson. 4:31 to go in the second. Johnson fed that low right, but recovered by the Silvertips here as they're going to head across center here once again. Chase Twet. He's got it. Feed that one off left now. Cole Twet with the ball here. Two Twet brothers on this team. We got Chase and Cole up to the point now. Schroeder going to let that shot go there, and that caught a piece of Carpenter to my understanding, and it find its way almost across half. And the Silvertips bench elated here as they feel that shouldn't have been an over and back call, and I got to agree because to my understanding that last touched Carpenter, the Rebels goaltender, before crossing half, so should not have been the over and back, but gets called regardless, and the Rebels with possession now in the Silvertip zone. Pook fed that across, and that one towards the net. Gets stopped there by McDonough. Rebels do recover once again, get the reset. Dylan Pook going to bring that in, pass it over to Mullen Eastwood. Eastwood over to the left. Quick stick opportunity on net, and Baker's shot caught a piece of the goaltender, but ended up behind the net somehow. And now the Silvertips trying to head across, and that is a stand-up hit by Mullen Eastwood. Clash of the Titans there as Colby Berg tried to throw the reverse hit and ended up getting sent to the ground himself. As Scrimshaw now going to throw that ball up along the left. Pass not be able to get brought in, but Eastwood now grabs it, took the high stick there, and it's going to be a power play upcoming for the Rebels when the Silvertips are able to gain possession here. Eastwood working it around as the Rebels now have 6 men out on the floor and still 10 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Baker, he's got it. He'll feed it to the right. Kohut back up to the point now. Gets the return feed again. Kohut lets that run rip, and it was blocked away there. That'll expire the shot clock. So with 2:38 to go in the second, the Rebels going to be headed to another power play. Headed to the box for the Silvertips. Looks to be Ethan Wong. So this Rebels power play is brought to you by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They are here to help you buy it, as Bone Carpenter will reapproach his net once again. Baker starts the ball at the point for the Rebels. Fed it to Pook, who's got it right now. Back up to the point for Baker. Baker over to Eastwood. Gets the return feed now. Back to Eastwood, who lets that shot rip there, and that one's right into the pads. McDonough playing dangerously close with a crease violation there with the Rebels, but nonetheless, the Silvertips able to pick up and now coming across the floor shorthanded. 2:12 to go in the second period. 1:31 now in the Rebels power play. So the Silvertips ragged the ball well here in the Rebels zone. Almost got a full 30 seconds out of this shot clock. 5 to go. Here's that one passed off as the shot clock will come to an expiration. But now Teej Brown able to pick that one up and pass it off to Reese Walsh. He'll cross half and pass that off to Eastwood. Eastwood goes up for Baker here. Baker back to Eastwood as the Rebels kind of slowing things down here. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, and now you might see some more movement come about here as that shot gets let go towards the net. That's going to be stolen away by the Silvertips, and now it's going to be a run back the other way. Mondragon trying to create that one-on-one situation again, just going to choose to stop up here. Prioritize the rag of the ball opposed to the opportunity on net. 38 seconds to go now on this Rebels power play. There's now a dive towards the net here by Cole Twet. Twet looking for an option here. Gets covered by 3 Rebels. Ball does come out loose, but Twet recovers it again. Good on him there. Now ball comes out loose. dropped out of the Silvertips bench. Now the Rebels come back the other way. 17 seconds to go on their power play and under a minute to go in this second period. As ball gets thrown ahead, it's going to be a race for it now as the Silvertips trying to get a break towards the net. They have numbers, but going to just slow it down once again as 5 seconds to go on this Rebels power play, and it will now officially come to a close. We are back 5-on-5, 4-3 remains your score in favor of Fort Saskatchewan. 31 seconds to go in the period. Into the middle there, that ball was fed for Chase Penner. Couldn't quite gather it in, and now Carpenter able to snag the rebound and bring it to his crease. Timeout called by the Rebels with 21.7 seconds to go in the second. We'll have to see what the Rebels go with here. But while I gotcha, I'll let you know that CROW LAX TV and the RMLL Junior B Tier 1 Division are proud to be supporting the Chris Letendre Wellness Foundation and the Canadian Mental Health Association to implement their Talk Today program. In 2020, a beloved player that gamed many in the North Division, Chris Letendre, died by suicide age 25 while battling mental health issues. The Chris Letendre Wellness Foundation was formed in 2021 to preserve his memory and call the lacrosse community to action in support of mental health in the game of lacrosse and beyond. Donations can be made at edmonton.cmha.talk-today-clwf. You can also visit our social media channels for a direct link at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. As this timeout comes to an end, I'll also make sure to let you know that at Vimeo Lacrosse, excellence is the standard, led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors. They are dedicated to molding well-rounded student athletes. Vimeo Lacrosse is a fusion of sport, academics, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimeo Lacrosse. Explore the academy by visiting vimiedmonton.ca/lacrosse. So it looks like Carpenter gonna sit between the pipes here. The Rebels opting not to go 6-on-5 with 21.7 to go on the board here. Baker, he has it now. Just gonna saunter that one across half. Baker feeds that one out right, finds Jackson Kohut. Kohut over to the left now for Eastwood. Eastwood right into the middle there, and Simonson lets that shot go, and it's going to make its way back down to Bowen Carpenter. Carpenter going to feed that one ahead, just giving him the flyby. There's the silver tip, and that'll do it for the second period. So after 40 minutes, the Rebels still lead this one 4-3 over the Rockyview Silvertips. Thank you for tuning in for this middle frame. My name's Aiden Bolsgard. Tristan Shaw's on the camera, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes for the third period live here on CROW LAX TV. Until then, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can catch all the RMLL Junior B Tier 1 and Senior Division games. But again, I will be back, and I'll talk to you soon. Welcome back live here on CROW LAX TV. My name's Aiden Bolsgard. Tristan Shaw is on the camera, and we're getting set for the third and possible final period between the Rebels and the Silvertips. It's Fort Saskatchewan that leads this one 4-3 currently over Rockyview. As we get set to open up this third period. Face-off violation signaled against the Rebels, so it's going to be Silvertips possession to start off the period. Cole Twett, he's got it now in along the left side at that shooter position. Twett getting pursued here by Ryan McBride. He'll choose to pass off. 19:40 to go in the third. As Scrimshaw going to be able to pick that one off now, and he'll send that up high in along the right, and here come the Rebels back into the zone. Ashton Johnson bringing it in for the Rebels' first offensive possession here of the third period. Little scoop pass to Simonson, slightly bobbled, but he's got it now. Simonson gets around the pick help there of Kohut, and now going to escape behind the net, trying to find some space here, but being pursued tightly. Only 6 seconds on the shot clock now for the Rebels as Kohut from the point lets that one go, and McDonough able to make the save there. Creeping up on 19 minutes to go in the third as the Silvertips able to step across half once again. Beckham Mondragon going to pass that one off. Comes out to Peterson now. Peterson got it along the left-hand side. Going to throw that all the way back up to the point for Mason Schroeder. Schroeder out to the right now as the Silvertips trying to wheel back towards the point here. Montgomery, he's got it, sends that towards the net, and that one goes high and out of play. So going to be turned over to the Rebels. 18:41 to go in the third period as they step across half. Reese Walsh going to fake that pass there for Pook and now leave it there for Baker. Baker over to Pook. Pook going to feed that over to Mullen Eastwood, who will drop that down left now into the middle there. A quick shot towards the net, and that one saying it did catch a piece of McDonough. Calling for the reset is referee Blake Petrushko as the Rebels recover once again here in the Silvertips zone. Dylan Pook going to fake that one there. Did confuse a couple defenders. It's Mullen Eastwood going to get the ball now, and now a penalty upcoming here, it looks like, behind the play a little bit. Mullen Eastwood going to be headed to the box. So the Silvertips going to get the first power play of this third period, trailing by 1. Mullen Eastwood step into the box. And with 18:09 to go in the third, we head to a Rebels penalty kill that is brought to you by 552 Projects. Providing construction services tailored to meet the unique needs of each client, committed to delivering top-notch quality and exceptional customer service is 5-2 Projects. 2 minutes of power play time here for the Silvertips. Let's see if they can tie this one up early here in the third. Cole Twett, he's going to start with the ball at the point. He'll feed that one over to his captain there, and Mason Schroeder. Schroeder, he's got it now. Back up to the point for Twett. Twett fed it over now for Penner. Into the middle there and stolen away by the Rebels. This Ashton Johnson trying to find his way back up the floor. Gets stripped of the ball there by Schroeder, who now looks to recover it. 17:46 to go in the third. 1:38 to go in this Silvertips power plays. They'll get possession given to them here in the Rebel zone once again, and a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Up to the point. Twett, he'll throw it to the left. Schroeder going to come into the middle and cause a little bit of havoc here. Is now fed out to Chase Penner. Up to the point there. Shot towards the net, and Bowen Carpenter able to make the stop there on that big point shot from Twett. Is now the Rebels looking to move it out of their own zone once again. Short-handed is stripped right at center, but picked up quickly by the Rebels. They're going to have a short-handed opportunity, and they score. Short-handed, the Rebels able to get their lead back up to 2. 5-3 now your score in favor of Fort Saskatchewan. The Rebels will remain on the penalty kill for another 1:04 unless the Silvertips are able to put something in the back of their net. We'll see how it pans out as we get set at center here for a face-off following the short-handed goal there. Calix Simonson, he's in to take this one up against who looks to be Zach Levent. Silvertips gain possession off the face-off. Chase Twett just going to scoop that one ahead there and go for a change. Fed it off to his brother there. Is now out to the right. Chase Penner. He's got it. Back up to the point for Twett. Now to the left for Schroeder. Schroeder back up to the point now again as the Silvertips continue to look for something here. Sorry, as that shot goes just wide there. Now play going to get blown dead, and it'll be turned over. It's going to be Rebels ball down in the Silvertips zone. Still 32 seconds of power play time for the Silvertips. Rebels, ragging ensues. Pook couldn't quite keep it in his stick, but able to scoop that one back up here again. Ball comes out loose and now recovered by the Silvertips. 15 seconds to work with still on this power play. Time continuing to wind down, though, as they're going to get their offense out on the floor. Passed off now to Peterson. Peterson looked like he was going to push inside, but chose not to do so that time around, as now we're back 5-on-5 here. Is Ashton Johnson going to grab that one out of the air now and has it in his own zone for the Rebels. Tried to feed that one ahead, got knocked out of the air by Cole Peterson there. Now rushes on Johnston again, and play going to be turned over to the Silvertips here. Stripped out of the stick there at Peterson, but recovered nicely by Graydon Clark. Clark brought it in, passed off now here to Cullen. Cullen going to feed that one outright, and now it comes all the way to the left where Clark has it once again for the Silvertips, and a big high stick up high, and it looks like Blake Petrushko did get that call, so a penalty upcoming to the Rebels here when they're able to gain possession. 15:30 to go in the third. Whistle will get blown, play dead, and Zorniak going to head to the box here, see what the end signal ends up being, but nonetheless, the Silvertips going to head to another power play. High stick going to be the call. Let's see if Rockyview can make something happen on this man advantage. 0 for 1 so far in this third period. Looking to be ailing a little bit. There's Cole Twett, but walking it off now, kind of favoring that right foot of his. Fed out right now. Chase Penner put it down low. Silvertips still with it here. That shot from the outside stopped by Bowen Carpenter and held in his own crease. So the Rebels able to gain possession now and look to head out and get across half. And they do. Kohut battling, and he'll get the ball now. It's 18 seconds to go here on this Rebels shot clock as they continue to wind down time on the penalty kill. Ball does come out loose. Kohut dives at it there. Still loose in the Silvertips zone, but now going to be picked up by Mondragon as he'll come across with some speed. Mondragon ahead, gives it to Herring. My apologies, Penner. Ball movement continues here in the zone for the Silvertips. Back up to Penner. Penner will feed that one across for Shabak. Shabak looking for an option here. Comes up to the point. Let go there by Penner, and a nice save by Carpenter. 51 seconds to go in the power play now for the Silvertips. 14-10 to go in the period. Battle for it in front of the Silvertips bench here, and that's going to be Rockyview that come up with it, and it looks like we're going to have a moving pick called here on the Silvertips, so ball going to get turned over to the Rebels. 14:02 to go now in the third period. Cale Owen, he'll feed that one over to the right for Calix Simonson. Simonson with it now. Looking for the options. He's trying to spin off now. Simonson looking like the double's going to come at him here soon. Still on the power play, of course, are the Silvertips. Behind the net now, going to be able to get picked up and thrown ahead as the Silvertips will bring it across half once again. Ethan Wong. He's got it. Wong looking for an option. Throws that one ahead now for Penner. That's going to do it now for another Silvertips power play. We're back 5-on-5. The Rebels did a good job to keep danger low on that one. His big shot from the outside blocked away by Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw pushing his man off from there and Chase Penners. They go at it a little bit. Scrimshaw coming back from injury, but not looking like he's going in slow here. Is showing some aggression there in the defensive end. 13 minutes to go now in the third period as Baker brings it in as Following that penalty kill, the Rebels trying to maybe get some offense going now, already leading this game by 2. Baker with some pressure, feeds that one back out to Eastwood. Now across, he finds Pook. Dylan Pook looking for an option. Going to rip that one from the outside there and going to grain his own rebound and throw it again, and it goes wide. So now ball going to roll down the floor here. Stopped up for the Silvertips as they'll get the offense rolling once again. 12:36 to go in the third. With it now, Graydon Clark going to feed that one back up to the point. Tried to find Zachary Cullen there. Couldn't quite get it in his stick, and play going to be blown dead, and it'll turn over to the Silvertips here again with a fresh 30 to work with. Petner feeds off to Peterson. Peterson going to feed that outside now for Schroeder. Schroeder passes that one off now for Cullen. Cullen goes back to the left side. That shot towards net. Rebound comes out in front. Silvertips recover. They'll get the reset again. 12:03 to go in the third period. Back up to the point now for Schroeder. The captain with the ball as there's a penalty upcoming to the Rebels here again. That's going to be 3 straight penalty kills for Fort Saskatchewan when they're able to touch up here if they get the chance to. 6-on-5 for the Silvertips for the next 14 seconds at least, as this one ends up in the ceiling on the wide shot, and Rebels going to be headed to the box. It looks like it's going to be Rylan Walsh headed to serve this one with 11:44 to go in the third. Roughing going to be the call here. So back to the power play. Go the Silvertips. Can they get it on their third opportunity? Of course, this Rebels penalty kill is brought to you by 5-2 Projects, providing construction services tailored to meet you the unique needs of each client. Committed to delivering top-notch quality and exceptional customer service is 5-2 Projects. As well, make sure to get your CROW LAX TV 50/50 tickets. They're on sale until July 1st. Let's make it our biggest draw of the season. You can scan your QR code in the bottom right of the screen right now, or you can go to our socials at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. A nice save there by Bowen Carpenter as the Rebels try to push it into the offensive zone here. Still a minute 37 to go on this penalty kill. Another good time for me to let you know to explore Fort Saskatchewan. Discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit their historic downtown, scenic parks, and river valley. Work in a thriving community. Play where every moment is memorable. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. The Silvertips get the ball back here from the Rebels. Are going to head into the offensive zone as we cross the 11-minute mark in this third period. 1:10 to go as the Rebels quickly turn that back over to themselves here and step into the offensive zone to rag off a little bit more of this penalty. Back up to the point. The Rebels got some good spacing going here. Down to Pook now along the right wing half boards there. Pook looking for an option, and we're going to have a penalty upcoming here. And it looks like they might actually be taking both. So Baker going to be headed to the box along with the Silvertip. Let's see what the calls are here. Might have an embellishment call. Or see if he ends up getting both of them. Let's see what the signal. Well, he's got both of them, but let's see what the signal ends up being. So 2 minutes assessed to each of them for slashing as the captain Scrimshaw comes out to argue that one a little bit. 10:29 to go in the third. Lots of penalties up on the board right now. 46 seconds still to go in the Silvertips power play that they're currently on. But now it's just going to be 4-on-3 out there in favor of the Silvertips. More conversations going on between referees now. Starting at the ball at half are going to be the Rebels. So they'll continue to wind down this penalty kill. Spinning around here, evading the danger. So the Silvertips now throw the double. tried to take the dive towards the net. Now going to get out in front. That shot towards the net and a nice save by McDonough. Another low-scoring period here in the third. We've only seen the one goal, and that one was from the Rebels to get them up by 2. Silvertips back in the zone now. Lots of space to work with here. Great opportunity to get back within 1. It's a short side shot there, stopped by Carpenter. Only 5 seconds to go on the penalty kill now for the Rebels. And that will do it. So we're 4-on-4 now. Scrimshaw comes in, 2-on-1. Tried to feed Zorniak, and that pass just a little high over top of him. And now they'll have to run back into the defensive zone here. 9:28 to go in this third period. Less than half of the period to go as we're 4-on-4 for the next 54 seconds here. Lots of space out on the floor. Is now stepping towards the middle there, and a nice save by Carpenter on Zachary Cullen. It's going to be Rebels ball here. Crease violation called on the Silvertips. Fed ahead now from Carpenter to Simonson. He'll find Kohut along the right side of the Silvertips zone. Kohut feeds that to the left now for Mullen Eastwood. Eastwood found Kohut once again, who lets that shot rip. Rebound does come out and recovered there by Simonson. Or sorry, my apologies. That's Cale Owen with the ball now. Kohut with it along the right side. Fakes that pass and got into the middle. Trying to spin around, find an option, but he's just going to escape to the outside now. That was a nice fake. Even got me with that one. Up to the point now. Simonson going to go low there. Quick stick opportunity for Cale Owen, and that stopped nicely by McDonough. 8:35 to go in the third period. Rebels going to maintain possession here in the Silvertips zone. 5 seconds to go. 4-on-4. Eastwood has it in front of the Silvertips bench. Now going to roll down low as we're back 5-on-5 now. Ball fed to the corner. Dylan Pook going to be able to pick that one up. Pook feeds that out. Lev Eastwood finds Baker. Baker just lost his handle there. Broken up by Ethan Wong, who's now getting some pressure right back from Baker. He'll have to escape behind his net and now pass this one ahead as the Silvertips move across half. Chase Penner. He's got it. Penner looking for his options here. Going to wheel out to his weak side, but got the pass off and now cut towards the middle there, and another save by Carpenter, who continues not to give anybody a lot to shoot at. Here's another one stopped. 7:45 to go in the third. Shot from the outside, and Carpenter makes the save again, that time on Chase Penner. Back in violation on the Rebels here. Is going to turn it back over to the Silvertips with a fresh 30 on the shot clock. 7:38 to go now in the third. Big shot from the outside. That one goes wide, and now Bajema going to be able to pick that up for the Rebels. Bajema, he'll step across half. Bajema going to roll inside, going to let the low shot go there, and a crease violation called on him. But what an effort from Davin Bajema as the Silvertips going to look to head across the floor once again. Fed up to the point. Zachary Cullen, he's got it now. Going to drop that even higher now for Cole Twett. Twett, he'll step in, feed that off now for the captain, Schroeder. Schroeder out to the right. Silvertips trying to go to work here in the Rebel zone. Schroeder getting some rough stuff here as he tries to enter tight into the Rebels net. But now from the outside, a big shot ripped, and another save by Carpenter, who continues to stand tall. 6:55 to go in the third now. Rebels still up 5-3 over the Silvertips. It's been a lower scoring affair here, but tight all the way. Just not a lot of room to work with out there at all for either side, but the Rebels got the best of it right now. Pook going to feed that up for Eastwood. Eastwood back over to Pook. Pook looking to step in. Lets the low shot go, and he scores. Dylan Pook had 4 goals himself yesterday, and now add another one to those totals with his first goal of today's contest, giving his team an even bigger buffer as we head down the stretch here. Good time to let you know that at Vimy Lacrosse, excellence is the standard, led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors. They're dedicated to molding well-rounded student athletes. Vimy Lacrosse is a fusion of sport, academics, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. Explore the academy by visiting vimyedmonton.ca/lacrosse. 6-3 is your score in favor of Fort Saskatchewan with 6 minutes and 33 seconds to go. Silvertips have the ball here in the Rebel zone. Zachary Cullen, he's got it. Feeds that one out left there for Cole Peterson. Peterson passes that one off now for Twet. Twet moved that ball out right, is cycling towards the top now is Cullen. Cullen can find Twet here once again. Only 8 seconds to go on the shot clock here for the Silvertips as that outside shot ends up into the netting, but they're saying last off a Rebel, so still Silvertips ball here in the Fort Saskatchewan zone. Stripped of the ball there nicely is Reese Walsh, going to bring that one across half now for the Rebels. Walsh taking a bit of punishment here, but still with the ball. We are 5-on-5. Here's Walsh now, going to pull this one back up towards the point and hit Calix Simonson, who's going to throw that down to Baker. Baker with it now, looking for his options out on the floor. Baker going to step towards the middle, let that one go there, and crease violation called. So no goal that time around. Just fed ahead quickly by the goaltender McDonough, trying to hit his man there. It's going to be a rush for the ball with 5:25 to go now in the third. Rebels able to pick it up, trying to head out of their zone, but recovered quickly by the Silvertips. Nice job by Mason Schroeder to come away with that ball. Throws it up to the point now for Clark. Clark gonna let a big shot go there, and a nice stop by Carpenter. Ball thrown in to the ceiling now. 5:02 to go in the third. Turnover to the Silvertips. Right in the middle for Schroeder, but he thought he had a chance, but whistle not blown in yet, so gonna have to pull this ball back out are the Silvertips. Clark to Schroeder. Schroeder up to the point now. He finds Shabak. Shabak works around. A Scrimshaw takes a big hit there, and that's a moving pick on him there as he'll move to the bench. But the Rebels with possession now, going to head out of their own zone here once again. 4:48 to go in the third. Dylan Pook, he's going to step across half. Pook in across the right. Going to throw that back up to the point now. Baker out to the left now is in the middle there, and ball going to get turned over to the Rebels there. Another moving pick violation there by Fort Saskatchewan. So got that call in their favor only moments ago, and now goes against them to send the Silvertips back the other way as this ball comes loose. Badgema battling for the loose ball here, but it's going to get picked up by Clark, who now able to get away from Badgema, but stripped of the ball once again now, and he's going to head across half. Badgema feeds it ahead, but couldn't get in the stick as that pass just a little bit broken up as we creep up on 4 minutes to go now in this third period. CROW LAX TV and the RMLL Junior B Tier 1 Division are proud to be supporting the Chris Letendre Wellness Foundation and the Canadian Mental Health Association to implement their Talk Today program. In 2020, a beloved player of the game to many in the North Division, Chris Letendre, died by suicide age 25 while battling mental health issues. The Chris Letendre Wellness Foundation was formed in 2021 to preserve his memory and call the lacrosse community to action in support of mental health in the game of lacrosse and beyond. Donations can be made at edmonton.cmha.ca/talk-today-CLWF. You can also visit our social media channels for a direct link at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. As Eastwood lets one rip there from the point. Cale Owen going to come in and secure that rebound. Has some pursuing pressure here. 3.5 to go now in the third period. Penalty upcoming here to the Silvertips is Owen going to feed that out to the right for Pook. 6-on-5 now will go the Rebels until the Silvertips are able to touch up or the shot clock expires. Baker going to feed that back over to Pook. Into the middle now, trying to get away with it quickly, but ball comes out, recovered by Eastwood. 7 seconds to go now. Big shot there comes out, and she went just wide. Baker going to throw that one into the ceiling. So play blown dead. We have a high stick being called here on the Silvertips. So the Rebels going to head to the power play here, already up by 3. This Rebels power play is brought to you, of course, by Smith Insurance Services. They aren't here to sell you insurance. They are here to help you buy it. Exactly 3 minutes to go in this third period. So this penalty, if it runs its entire length, will take us to the last minute of the period. So the Rebels, good opportunity here to kind of ride this one home, but we'll see if they push for a little extra offense and a little bit more cushion. Baker starts with that one at half. He'll feed it over to Pook, who will drop that one down low for Simonson. Simonson back to Pook, up to the point now for Baker. Baker now playing a little pass with Eastwood. And ball finds its way back to the right over where Pook and Simonson are. Simonson with the ball behind the net now. He goes back up for Pook, who goes even higher to Baker. Ball comes out loose now. It's going to be stolen away, and here come back the Silvertips the other way. They're going to have to push for some offense here as Fuster steps across half, feeds that one right into the middle. A great opportunity, short-handed, and they score. Chase Penner puts it away and gets the Silvertips back within 2 here. Short-handed goal by Penner, his first of tonight's game. So Rebels will remain on the power play for another minute 24, as there's exactly 2:24 to go in the period as well. Just a defensive bobble to allow Penner to get away in the middle there. Simonson going to step in to take this draw up against Zach Levent. Blown in here. It's going to be Rebels ball. Zorniak, he's going to throw that in along the right. Pook, he's got it now, just going to hold on to it here. Wait for the rest of the offense to get out on the floors. Baker's got it, and we'll give it back to Pook now. 2:08 to go in the third. So Rebels continue to try to wind this one down. Just got scored on, so back only up by 2. Baker going to let his shot rip there, and that one seemed to have caught a piece of McDonough and went wide. Referee saying no, actually no reset. Simonson got it in the corner now. Is now Pook just going to dump that one in, and that goes right into the stick of Chase Twet, who snagged that out of the air with ease and will step across half now. 1:42 to go in the third, 40 seconds in the Rebels power play. Up to the point now, Schroeder. Fed that out left, comes even higher now, and that one's in the back of the net. Chase Penner gets his team back within 1. That's back-to-back goals for Penner. And now all of a sudden we have ourselves a game. My apologies, forgot to update your score for you on the last goal, but it is 6-5. Still in favor of the Rebels, but that's 2 short-handed goals for Penner here to get his team back within 1. And that's what I get for telling the Rebels that they could ride this one home on the power play. This is what will happen. 28 seconds on the power play for the Rebels. 1:28 to go in the third. It's crunch time here from Josephburg, from the Moyer Recreation Center. Will we see a Silvertips comeback, or will the Rebels be able to bring this one home? Zorniak, he'll pick that one up and step across half here and feed it off now to Baker. 20 seconds to work with on the power play now for the Rebels. They're going to slow things down now. They got to dial in here a little bit to allow 2 quick goals like that. Not the most ideal scenario. Zorniak just kind of moving in lower, hanging around the blue line here. 8 seconds to go on the shot clock for the Rebels. Only 3 seconds on the power play, as now they're going to start some movement here. Rebels power play now come to an end. We're 5-on-5 with less than a minute to go in the period. It's the Silvertips now going to be able to step across half. This one going to get picked out of the stick of Cam Fuster. Able to recover it, though. Fuster now going to drop that off for Schroeder. Schroeder going to start pushing in. 42 seconds to go in the third now. Can the Silvertips bring it back on what possibly could be their last offensive possession of this game? Comes to the point, rip from there, and that's going to be stopped by Carpenter on the shot from Penner. He just beat him from that same spot not too long ago. It was a nice swim dodge there by Scrimshaw. He'll bring it across half, and he's going to call the timeout as he gets pinned along the boards. And late timeout call by the referee there. Scrimshaw was calling for it before he even crossed half. So we'll have a minute to kill here, and that gives me a chance to drink some water. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button or that notification bell if you're tuned in live here with us on CROW LAX TV. 52 of you tuned in right now. It's always good to see. Steadily growing throughout the season have been the numbers, and us at CROW LAX TV would like to thank you for tuning in each and every game and making sure you're updated on all RMLL lacrosse, are the ones we cover, which Junior B Tier 1 division, and some of the Senior B games as well. So you can catch a lot here on CROW LAX TV, as well as some female games, I should add as well. Timeout coming to a close here. About 12 seconds still on the clock in that. Rebels going to be able to gain possession across half in front of the Silvertips bench here. Play blown in. Beating his man there. The Rebel is only 17 seconds to go. All the Rebels got to do is hold possession, and this game is over. Fed all the way back up to the point for Baker. Baker going to feed it over for Pook. Pook going to drop that down in the corner for Simonson. Simonson all the way back up top for Baker. 3 seconds to go on the clock now. And that will do it. So, despite some late period woes, the Rebels able to hold on and come away with the victory, 6-5 over the Rockyview Silvertips. Make that a 2-0 weekend for Fort Saskatchewan. A big 20-3 win over the SWAT yesterday, and a 6-5 win today over the Silvertips. Two big ones for Fort Saskatchewan as the season continues to move along. Again, my name's Aiden Bolsgard. Tristan Shaw ran the camera, and you listened live today on CROW LAX TV. Until next time, you have yourself a good one.